friends, welcome back to Post-Mormon Parenting, your resource for tips and tricks of raising kids after Mormonism. Today we're going to read another book. This one is called E is for Ethics by Ian Corlett. The cool thing about this book is that it includes lots of short stories, and each one is about a different value that we would like to teach our kids. So I'm going to read to you two of the short stories so you can get a sample and idea of kind of what this book is like and see if it's something that you want in your toolbox. We'll start with the first chapter about honesty. It was a rainy winter day. Elliot was walking to the video store with his mother to pick up a movie for the evening. Mom was looking for a light comedy to watch with Dad as the fireplace crackled, but Elliot had nothing but spaceships on his mind. That is, until he noticed a crisp new $5 bill lying on the ground at the entrance to the shop. His mother didn't see it as she entered the video store, but Elliot locked on it like a tractor beam. Since no one was around, he picked it up and shoved it deep into his pocket. As he drifted toward the outer space section, Elliot could not believe his good luck. He could hardly concentrate on selecting a movie because he was daydreaming about all the wild and wonderful ways he could spend his newfound fortune. He wandered around in such a daze that he didn't even realize that not only had he not chosen a movie, but he was now standing in the checkout line beside his mother, who was waiting to pay. Suddenly, his daydream was shattered when the lady in front of them, who was frantically searching through her purse, gasped. "I am positive I had $5, she said. "I know because I just got a nice crisp one and change from the last store. Oh heavens, it must have dropped out of my bag." Elliot's heart sank. Would he be honest and give the lady the $5 bill? Question: what would be the honest thing for Elliot to do? I like that it asks these questions because I think our kids really understand, without teaching them anything from primary or anything from the scriptures or anything, they understand what the honest thing is to do. If they know the meaning of the word honesty, our kids have this innate sense of what is good to help other people and honest and what is not. So these kinds of questions just help them commit to themselves. I understand what honesty is, and I have courage to practice that. And that's not to say that kids are always honest. Obviously not. Our kids grapple with that polarity of honesty and dishonesty, and they'll go through phases, especially in early childhood, where they're testing out, what does that look like when I am honest? What does it look like when I'm dishonest? Can I get away with stuff? Can I get what I want by being dishonest? Are there consequences? And just like practicing with that polarity is absolutely part of development. And so that's not, if they are acting dishonestly because they're in that phase of life, it's not a reflection on your parenting. That's not a failure on your part. So just keep in mind. As with so many ethical qualities, being honest makes you feel great inside. Sometimes it's difficult to be honest with others or even yourself, but when you are, there is no better way of life. Elliot felt great when he was guided by honesty about the money. More questions. What else could Elliot have done as soon as he found the $5 bill? How would Elliot have felt later if he had decided to keep the $5? Can you tell us about a situation you can remember when you or a friend displayed honesty? And then I love each chapter ends with some quotes. Honesty is the best policy, William Shakespeare. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts, Mark Twain. The next chapter I want to read is Empathy. Chapter 20. It was a sunny Saturday and the whole family was out for a walk in the city park. They enjoyed walking in the park because Mom and Dad always told stories about their visits there when they were young. On this day, just as Dad began to tell a crazy story about riding around the park on a mini bike, his cell phone rang. It was Mom's aunt calling from Europe. His expression became serious as he handed the phone over to Mom. Elliot and Lucy begged him to keep telling the story, but with one look, they knew it wasn't the time. Mom's face turned gray as she listened and said, "Uh-huh. Oh, I see. When?" Soon the call was over and Mom turned to Dad and said, It's my Uncle Walter. He died this morning." Mom and Dad hugged. But Elliot and Lucy didn't quite know what to do. It was obvious that Mom was sad, but they had never even met Uncle Walter. Mom walked a few steps away to blow her nose and wipe away some tears. Lucy quietly tugged on Dad's sleeve. I can see Mom is sad about her uncle, but I don't feel sad, and that makes me feel weird a little. Dad wiped away a tiny tear too as he pulled Elliot and Lucy close. I know you didn't know him. Heck, I only met him once. It seemed strange to Elliot to see Dad fighting back a tear. Empathy, kids, empathy. It's when you can actually imagine the feelings another person is experiencing. Lucy scratched her head for a second, and then Elliot jumped in with, oh, like when I felt worried when Lucy felt worried about her lost doll? Exactly, said Dad. Now run over there and see if you can show your mom some empathy, okay? Okay, agreed Elliot and Lucy eagerly. Question: how could the kids show empathy? It's always difficult to see our parents cry. Usually we feel sad even if we don't know what made them distressed. In Elliot's and Lucy's case, they soon learned that it was their mom's uncle who passed away. Showing empathy doesn't mean you have to cry when someone else is sad, but a warm hug can show that you understand how they feel. More questions. How would Mom have felt if the kids didn't show empathy? Can you think of an example when you needed to show empathy? What feelings could be connected to empathy? Has anyone shown empathy toward you? And the quotes. The great gift of human beings is that we have the power of empathy. Meryl Streep. We care how things turn out because the character cares. Our interest comes from empathy. John Gardner. So this book has 26 of these short stories, and I'll show you the table of contents so you can get an idea of what kind of things it talks about. There's a foreword where the author talks about why he wrote the book, and it's very interesting. This is something that I don't think you have to necessarily have on your bookshelf, but it's definitely helpful. It's a really good, useful tool in your toolbox. These kinds of conversations just come up in regular, everyday discussions. And so, again, you don't have to have the book, but it's nice to go through as a supplement too. Say if maybe the opportunity for honesty or fairness hasn't come up for a while, like we can go over it with a short story at bedtime or in the car or, whenever. So highly recommend this by Ian James Corlett. I'll add a link for the book in the description below. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get any kind of commission or anything. I recommend books that I have because I love them. So if this video was helpful to you, please remember to like and subscribe and watch some of the other videos. Share this with anyone you think might be interested, and I'll see you next time. Take care.